Hi, this is just a video about my little application to create small folded cardboard boxes. Made it into an application to make it easy. Basically, you don't have to draw it out, and you just put in some sizes and things. So this is my main app. It's just for sending code to your plotter, so you can open the file and send it once you've created it. This is how you connect. Just set it to the COM port that you've got your plotter connected to. Set it to the speed that your plotter communicates at, and then click connect. It takes a little while connecting. It's on Bluetooth. Down here it says select tool. Well, this is just for my plotter. The software is sort of bespoke. Some of these things are bespoke to my machine. My machine has many tools. It has two servos, it has a laser, and it has a spindle for sort of drilling and what have you. So this doesn't really matter to any other machine. It's just for my machine. All that matters here is that you connect, you open a file, and you plot a file. First we need to create one, so we go down to this button here that we create. It opens another little application window, and we choose. I've got several different types of converters to convert things into G-code, but this is about the folded box. This little box like this. All you have to do is you put your size in here. So if we've got 30mm, and what it does, it draws the pattern. This is a preview, so you always click the update preview to check that you've got it correct. These two dimensions here are the size of your machine, your plotting area of your actual machine. So whatever size your machine is, just put the figures in here, and it shows the area in this light area. You can tell whether your box is going to be oversized. So I mean, if we put a massive width in here, I'll tell you what, if we turn it around to the normal way, so it looks that direction, and then if we increase the length, so if I put 100 in here, so you can see that. Let's go 150, and we increase the size of the box there. You can see if you're going to make a box that's too big for your plotter, it will. Let's go 200. There you go. You can see that it's too big. That a box that size would be too big for your plotter to draw. So we'll go back to 50. There. So we're going to make a box that's sort of 50mm long. These are inside dimensions. So whatever you're going to put in your box, so this is the size of whatever you're going to put inside the box. And this is a thickness. I'm using 0.25 thick card, which for my laser I need to do 2 passes, and it's down in this bottom right corner here. That is the number of cuts to cut through. This needs to be ticked for the laser. This is for the fold settings. You can see if I increase the view, there we go, make it a bit bigger so you can see it. This is just a scale for the preview only. You can see the blue lines. These are the blue lines, are going to be the score lines. So this here is the settings for the score line. So the laser wants to be on less power or faster speed, so it doesn't cut all the way through. It just wants to put a nice little score on top of the card. This is the number of passes depending how strong your little laser is. it makes it easier to fold the card. It creates a neater line if you've got a nice score mark there where to fold the card. So they're the settings for the blue score lines, and then for the main cut settings are down here in these tools. If you stick it onto laser, and then you just put your setting. This is the power setting, and down here is the speed. This G0 code is for those machines that don't handle the go-to command correctly. You can put a speed in there, and you can include the code on the end of the go-to. So if you've got a GO command, then it sticks the code on the end there for the feed, so you can have a faster speed for when it's going to a point, and then you have your normal cut speed down here, which will be, there we go, that's 55, oh no, 55, oh I mean I updated that, hang on, there we go, there, 350, and it was on a previous plot. So before you save, you must remember to update your preview, and then you must generate your code and then save. Otherwise you may be using a previous version of code that you had in there, because this area remembers what you did last, basically. So once you've got all your settings correct, how you want them, number of cuts, like I said, just said update, then generate code, and then go to save. Oh, and this area up here, this area, if I just zoom out a bit, let's go to that update, there we go. This area here, this is the X direction going across it, so this gives you the size of the card that you need. This is how big a piece of card you're going to want, so, and the Y direction is in that direction, so this piece here is going to be 134 by 120 needed. So if we go to save, there's two save options. This will save, so if you're going to do several boxes and you want to do all your code first, you can just click save and then do another one, and then this is save and close. It will close this application once you've saved it. So if we go here, it defaults to Tim's G code, because basically it's writing G code in my flavour. When I say my flavour, it's because I've added this M5 L and PO. This isn't standard original G code. I mean, the M5 basically is to turn the spindle off, and the M3 is to turn the spindle on. There's nothing to do with speed and power or anything in G code, because it's a machine that you're turning on, and the machine has a motor on top, and it turns it on or turns it off. You set it through the speed through a gearbox. But these days now we have lasers and servos, and so we have people come up with using the M5 and M3 to turn on the laser and turn off the laser. And now I've used an L command to set the power, and so, and there's a pause. The pause there, the P is a pause for when I'm using servos, because I use this same command for the spindle, the laser and servos on my machine. This may need to be edited if you're using a different machine that has, well, it will have different firmware than mine, because I use my own firmware on my machine. So I'll come back to that. So if you want to save it with a different extension, you can just change it, and you can save it as a G code or a CNC, whichever you want. But if we're using my sender, then you might as well leave it as Tim's G code. It defaults. But if you're going to use your own sender to send this file, then you may want to change this to one of the others. When you come to save it, it will automatically give it a name based on what your settings are. It's the size of the box, basically. You can change this if you want. Just modify that and change it and call it whatever you want. So if we save that, hang on, what did I save it as? Just go back now. 50, 30, 20. Oh, I didn't rotate it. Hang on, cancel. Let's go back and create that, because that won't fit on my A4. I'm putting it on a piece of A4, and I know my A4 is well, it's just under 150. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to rotate it. I forgot to rotate it, so update. So I'm going to cut it that way around on my piece of card. So generate code, and then let's go and save. And you can see it's put a little R on the end of there. This shows that I've actually rotated it. So I'll save that. I've already done it before, so I'm just going to overwrite that. And so once we've done it, we can open the code. And it's this one here that we want, so I'll just open that. And if we're connected and we've got a file open, we can now plot. So what we'll do is we'll just plot that. I'll just turn my laser on and my fan. And we just click plot. There we go. So you can see the progress down there in this progress window. And basically, there's sort of four commands here. The four colours. The blue and black is the blue is I've sent a G1 command, and the black is saying it's done that command. And if they've got a light pinkish colour, it's a GO command. Then when it turns green, it's done that GO command, and so you can sort of track how it's going. If you've got a plotter with a buffer that stores a few commands while it's plotting, so you can send a few commands ahead, and it stores them in a buffer, and then sort of it then executes those commands from the buffer. You'll find that this will end up going way ahead of what you see on the actual plotter plotting, because your plotter will be plotting what's inside your buffer, and this will have sent things already to your buffer, and so it will this progress here will be ahead of what you actually see the machine up here doing. Well, I hope that made some sense anyway. So while it's doing that, what I'll do is I'll explain a little bit about the code. So what I'll do is I'll bring up some code that we've done. Oh no, I tend to do test pieces and save all my settings on a in a text document, so I can remember my settings. Those are the settings that you want to be sticking in here in this area. So it's a good practice to do some test pieces and make notes, and then when you come to cut that type of material, you can actually do it. We don't need that one. What I wanted was here we go. Right, yeah, so that's the one we're doing. Here's one I've done. Well, this is the one I did made a mistake with. So let's have a look at this one while it's doing that other. So if we take a look at that, you can open it up with Notepad, normal Notepad, and you can see all the code. It's all basic G code. The only exception to the standard G code is the M5 command, and as I've said, we use the M5 for off, and I use it for up as well, and such thing. And I have an L inside there for the power that I want to set, maybe the motor or the position of the servo, or the level of the laser, and I have a P in there, and the P is just for a pause. For when I'm using the servo, what it'll do, it'll just put a pause before the next command while the servo moves its arm. So this is basically, this isn't standard G code. It's a modification that everybody's come up with, but depending on the firmware you have, it may be slightly different to what I have. Most people still use the M5 and the M3. So M3 is on, so you can see down the M3 is down, and I set it to 175. And this anything in brackets is just a comment, so we can see what's happening through when we read G code. So we may need to change this. You may need to get rid of the PO, and you may need to change the L. Know that if you're using GRBL software, this wants to be an S. I think they've used S for spindle speed, because what they did was, now we have machines where we don't need a gearbox. We can just vary the speed of the motor with a few electronics. So we needed to add something to control the speed of the motor. I think GRBL is mainly CNC. Went for the S, and they've kept the S for the power of the laser as well. So if you've got GRBL set up in the laser mode, then when you use the M3, you can have an S here to set the power of the laser. So all we have to do is open up what my software produces code, and then if you go to edit, it's all done. So this should now work on the software should recognize that as the power, and you just save it again. So you can leave a comment for some help, and oh presto, we've finished our cutout. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of that. So once we've done that, that's done. Don't need that anymore. Well, what I'll do is I'll just bring that to the front. What I'll do is I'll try to fold this inside in front of the camera, but my monitor is behind me, so I might go out of camera shot now and then. Let's see what happens. Turn the fan off. So, oh, just try to stay in camera. There's our pattern, and you can see that the folds at, you know, the things, and it makes it easier to bend. So I'll just give it a tap, because we've used a laser, and obviously there's a bit of soot from where we've cut it, so that just gets rid of a bit of soot. So the first thing to do with the pattern is to fold everything in. So all these bends are all inwards into themselves. So if you're looking at the scored line, you fold it in. So what we'll do is we'll just fold them all in. Just take care here, because the actual fold line is on the outside of this hole, so just make sure you're folding on that, and then just do them all, and then go like that. It just makes the paper. Am I still in shot yet? We've got a bit of soot there, and just yeah, fold them in, and once you're folding them in, it's giving them a nice crease now, and then just fold the other lines in as well. So I'm going to see, can I do this on the table? We'll do it on a nice flat table, it's a lot better. So yeah, try and get it on camera so you can see. There we go, just folding them all to give them all a nice crease. There we go. Still in camera. Let's say with this one. This one's actually got, you'll notice there's two score lines, because this actually, it bends twice, it goes over the top, and it should be leaving two bend marks. You won't notice it on this thin stuff, but you'll notice it more on thicker card. It will work with corrugated card as well. So I've done some corrugated boxes with some corrugated cards, and it works out well. So you can give that a try. Right then. So once we've got everything bent, these two first small tabs come on the inside. We do it like that, yep, like that. So they're bending, and this top one folds over the top, and it pops down, and this little tab goes through the hole. See if we can get that tab through. There we go. And do the same on the other side. Pop it through. There we go. So the tabs have stuck through. That's gone over, and it should be a little bit flat on top there, because it's, like I said, two folds. And then these two tabs on the lid, they go on the inside, and then it comes down, and then these tabs fit inside the folded area at the front, and then you just slide that down inside like so, and then there we go, a nice box. Show that there. Quite strong boxes, so they make some, keep little small bits of trinkets in there, write what you want on top, and it keeps them all together. Or you can make it into a nice box, maybe do a pattern with your plotter on top, and to do some nice patterns, and make it into a gift box. I've done a few. Here's a selection. There's some more. Black one. Black card cuts really nice with the laser. And another pink one. And here's one a different size. This one's. There's the front. There we go. There's the front. That's another little tiny one. Different shape, but a bit shallower. But like I say, choose whatever size you want, and there you go. So hope that's of interest, and someone manages to do it. Okay, thank you.